Hello Hashima, this video is for Thursday, April 16th. Today you're going to be reading chapter 7 and 8 in Number the Stars. They're kind of short, which is why we assigned 2 chapters for today. Before we talk about the lesson, just want to remind you that there's a Google Slides presentation on Google Classroom that you need to look at that shows a map of Denmark and how close it is to Sweden. Understanding that is going to be really important for you to understand today's reading. So today you're going to be able to summarize how a character feels using evidence from the text. So if you remember, summarizing means saying something that's the most important. So when we talk about a character's feelings, they may have more than one feeling at once. That's normal for people too. But when you summarize the character's feelings, you have to think about which one is the most important and which one sort of carried out through the whole scene or the whole chapter. So understanding the actions or the feelings of the characters can help us get to the big ideas of the story, and that's why this is important. So when you think about a character's feelings or what that summary of those feelings is, you need to use characterization. So what a character's feeling, how they're acting, what they're saying, and what they're doing. Those things are going to help you come up with a feeling word or a summary of what's taken place. So make sure that there's evidence in the text to back up whatever word that you choose, and that it's not just one piece, that it's multiple pieces of evidence that point towards this one feeling or this one big summary of the characters. So an example of this is thinking about the soldiers at the beginning of the book that were on the street, coming into the house. So for example, thinking about how the characters felt when the soldiers came into the house, you could summarize and say that they felt nervous. You wouldn't summarize and say that they felt confused, because they may have been confused at one moment, but they weren't confused the whole scene. They were nervous the whole scene. So they were trembling. They had to answer a bunch of the soldiers' questions. They had to lie. They were nervous the entire time. So like I said, confused or brave might have applied to only one of those little scenes, but taking the whole thing into account, nervous is a bigger summary of those feelings. So you're going to read chapters 7 and 8 today. If you remember, they are in the countryside now, or they're going to the countryside, because it's better, it's more safe than the city, Copenhagen. So please look at the Google Slides on the drive. That will help you visualize and understand what's going on in the story, and then read. We're going to talk a little bit later on today during Zoom about some of the mysteries or confusing things that are happening, because there's some talking in code and things that aren't literal in this set of chapters. So do your best to understand that now, and then we'll talk about it again later on Zoom.